Getting off the Metro Line A at Lepanto, I walked 7 blocks south through the district of Prati and turned left on Via Giuseppe Gioacchino Belli, with a bit of time to spare before my dinner reservation. There was a buzzy undercurrent on Via Belli, and this definitely continued into the restaurant where I was booked for dinner, Carter Oblio. Their distinctive sign was very visible, with its silhouette and question mark. And in case you were wondering about the name, nobody in the restaurant answers to Carter. It's an anagram of the first 2 names of the chef, Ciro Alberto. His surname is Cuciniello, by the way. I was early for my 8 o'clock reservation, but I wasn't quite the first guest. Within seconds, as I settled in, my instinct told me it was going to be an extremely enjoyable evening. The decor, while spare, still exuded warmth, thanks to the wood tables and the very well-conceived lighting. And the super-friendly welcome added to my comfort. I went for the 7-course tasting menu with 5-glass wine accompaniment and additionally ordered a glass of bubbly to start off with. A frizzante called Cosmico, made from 100% Trebbiano grapes from the Casale Certosa winery just south of Rome. A first amuse-bouche arrived, a honeydew melon granita with prosciutto flaked salt. I had just finished this off when the 4 main amuse-bouche arrived. Right in front of me, well pitched, within a tuning fork, a mustard leaf enveloping a semi-dried apricot. On the right on the serving board, a savory mini cannolo filled with ragu genovese, which despite its name is a Neapolitan tomato-free meat sauce, which in this case was with male buffalo meat. In the center, a grilled mini pepper filled with eggplant caponata, and on the left, a coin-shaped biscuit topped with fake caviar, lentils flavored with cuttlefish ink. Bread was preceded by butter, specifically whipped buffalo milk butter flavored with anchovies, as well as a little dipping bowl of prized Ravece olive oil from Irpinia in Campania. Then the breads, 5 of them. I seem to recall there being an instruction about the order in which to eat them, but I've forgotten. In any case, starting with the middle bread, its topping contained yellow cherry tomatoes, basil, and citron from Sorrento. Bottom left, bread made with olives and dried tomatoes. In the back on the right, rye bread with poppy seed. Moving clockwise, the flavorings were chamomile and fennel seed. And at top left, bread with dark chocolate. What I spread on them or dipped them into was up to me. The next wine arrived. From Signora Luna wines near Pescara in Abruzzo, it was made from Trebbiano, Malvasia, Pecorino, and Pinot Grigio. The name, Strunz, is a reference to the famous tirade by former Bayern Munich coach Giovanni Trapattoni against player Thomas Strunz, comparing him to an empty bottle. This preceded the dish called carote, carote, carote. At the bottom, a brilliant carrot cream soup. Artfully arranged on top of it were a yellow carrot and a deep purple one from Polignano. In the middle was a roll of carrot tagliatelle. Alongside grated carrots and frilly carrot leaves, the only carrot extraneous ingredients were the leaves of thyme. What an exaltation of the carrot! The next wine preceded the next dish, too. An Austrian red, 100% Blaufränkisch, quite a surprise to see for me, from Judith Beck in Gors in the Burgenland. And yes, Honey Bunny is its name. It was to accompany an extravagant buffalo dish. In the forefront, carpaccio of hay-smoked buffalo, the male animal, which was fattened with anchovied butter. In the back, buffalo milk. On the left, a grilled bok choy leaf. In the middle, fondo bruno demi-glace, and that cube is candied citron. A wonderful dish, and possibly the first time I was enjoying buffalo bull meat. Each component was essential and played off every other element. Wine number 4 arrived, Mischia Bacche, or mixed grapes, these being Uva Rara, Croatina, Barbera, and Merlot, from Castello di Stefanago in the Oltrepò Pavese. It was to go with an utterly enchanting composition called The Duck and the Pond. Aside from the carefully thought-out flavor combination, the assembly was also designed to resemble a pond. The flavors? At the center front were strips of smoked duck breast. Behind them, chanterelles. On the left, a piece of salsify resembling a log, and on its left, some buckwheat. At the front, grilled kale, standing in for the algae of a pond. All rested in a dashi broth, and nasturtium leaves floated towards the back. One of the best treatments of duck I've ever eaten, and unquestionably one of the most visually original settings. We moved to a Catalonian wine made by Sicus near Tarragona from Cartuixa Marie grapes, with 1 month in amphorae followed by 7 months in steel tanks, specifically selected for its vegetal qualities to accompany the next dish. Called paella al salto, this was a tweak on both paella and risotto al salto. The rice used was the bombo variety, typical for the region of Valencia. This was served in a reduction of the fish soup, which the rice had been cooked in. The mound of rice at the center was the actual paella rice, fried al salto. The colors came from pimenton and cuttlefish ink. That's doing only minimal justice to the dish and its ingredients. One of the most colorful plates on a menu which gave much attention to color in addition to flavor. An orange wine from Ludovico, a small producer in Abruzzo, made from Trebbiano and Malvasia grapes, was up next, and you can see the accumulation of glasses on the table. I wasn't keeping up.
Un po' più bilanciato, proprio perché abbiamo sia la parte minerale del Trebbiano.
The next plate is the easiest for correctly guessing the ingredients. Raviolo gusto di pizza. Aside from the visible pellets of mozzarella, the raviolo is filled with buffalo scamorza, some of which is also next to the grilled tomato. There were 2 kinds of oil, basil oil and smoked oil, unless I got that last bit wrong. I didn't write down the technical details. With the next plate, we moved to the secondi. The star here was the fish, corba rossa, or red drum, from the shores of the Gargano Peninsula in Apulia. Here, its pink-veined, very juicy flesh was served in a coconut-flavored broth with lemongrass and lime-flavored oil, and finished with lime juice.
Andiamo a terminare il piatto con un goccetto di succo di lime.
An Apulian version of Tom Kha Gai, so to speak. Unbelievably refreshing and satisfying, and a worthy advertisement for the quality of the fish. The wine arrived just after the fish, a coastal Inzolia from independent winemaker Marilena Barbera in Menfi on the southwest coast of Sicily, roughly halfway between Agrigento and Marsala. Most agreeable and an ideal partner with the corba rossa and coconut broth. From Sicily all the way up to Piemonte for the next wine, an orange wine called Timox, made from the uncommon indigenous Timorasso grape. And it accompanied what a quick recount indicated was an additional secondo, as I knew we would be finishing with a dessert. It was a secondo I had inquired about at the beginning, and the chef had evidently decided to gift me with a portion of this above and beyond the fixed menu. I'd found it one of the most intriguing items on the menu, and I think you will see why. Guinea fowl, with the breast and legs in different preparations. In the back, king oyster mushrooms in barley. I've forgotten what the breading was on the guinea fowl leg in the back, but the breast at the front was coffee infused, and the center was taken up by potatoes pureed with chamomile. And the sphere on the left was a puree of glazed and iced guinea fowl innards. A sensational dish, and I was extremely grateful the chef had decided I was worthy of this extra course. I stepped outside to stretch my legs before the dessert. It may have been Halloween, but the Roman night was mild. Back inside, it was time for the dessert wine, a low-alcohol Moscato Giallo from Monteversa in the Colli Euganei, Euganean Hills, situated north of Este and southwest of Padova. There was a pre-dessert, too, a salad of green apples and cucumber, with a foam of green apple and ginger on top. I forgot to photograph it, so you'll have to take my word for how good it was. Dessert, a Neapolitan classic, with the chef's tweak. Baba al rum, in this case a white rum, with candied citrus and a crumble I neglected to inquire about. I was losing my focus for detail, and I was fascinated by the shape of the bowl it was served in, tilted towards the front, with the cream just hovering over but never spilling across the lip. The degree of the tilt is clear from this angle. I couldn't wait to descend upon it. And you may have noticed I'd acquired quite a collection of unfinished wine glasses by this stage. Post-desserts too, obviously. From right to left, a citrus-flavored beignet, a biscuit with caramelized salt, and a soft chocolate cube with raisin-flavored rum. I felt very fortunate to have started off my stay in Rome with such a memorable dinner. 8 courses and 9 wines, and look forward to returning to Carter Oblio on a future trip.